Hello, listeners. Extra special warning today because this is probably the worst book we've ever reviewed on the show. I've personally found it very psychologically damaging to me. And if you're not up to dealing with someone who is sexually deviant in the extreme, I really suggest you don't listen to this episode. We just want you guys to be safe and not put yourself in a bad mental position, because this one's pretty bad. So, specific warnings, animal sexual abuse, as well as a lot of discussion about mental illness and just the 70s in general. So if you're not into any of that, I understand. Enjoy the episode.
Content warning. On this podcast, we discuss sensitive issues, including but not limited to swearing, tasteless jokes, situations of a sexual nature, and drug use. This podcast is not intended for children. Hello and welcome to BiblioWrecks, the podcast where we read really terrible books and then tell you all about it. I'm Bugs.
And I'm Bam Bam.
And you have been warning me about how bad this is going to be and apologizing to me, so I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
So before we get started, content warnings?
Content warning for sexual abuse and animal abuse.
And sexual abuse of the animals.
Yeah.
So, if you are not in the mood, skip this one, pick a more fun one.
Mm-hmm. This one's bad. It's really bad.
All right, what are we doing?
We are doing Wet Goddess by Malcom Brenner.
Wait, what's the name of this book?
Wet Goddess.
Oh, and this is about an animal?
It's about an animal.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh my.
Just for context of why I read this book.
'Cause you hate yourself and want to die.
Yeah, that too. I am a little bit masochistic with my reading choices. So it's a little bit that, but also there's another book that I think I mentioned outside the podcast called The Bear. Mm-hmm. And it was done by Terrible Book Club a couple of years ago, I think. And it was actually a really touching story about a woman who has been treated so badly by men that the company of a bear is preferable. And it's kind of a long version.
She chooses the bear.
Yeah, it's kind of the long version of that.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I thought about when I first heard about this book, that this was going to be kind of a switch from that kind of story.
Okay.
And in a way, this is kind of just a male counterpart to that story, but not as the author intended it. Aside from that, I was very wrong, severely and disgustingly wrong.
Gotcha. So you weren't expecting this to be like the bottom of the barrel dregs of society.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought there was going to be like some kind of twist, something that turns it around at the end.
Something redeeming at all.
Or this was going to be symbolism or something, and it's not. It's real bad.
Okay.
For starters, I'm going to be skipping most of the stuff involving the owners of Florida Funland, because this takes place at a water park in Florida that does dolphin shows.
All right.
And that's most of the setting of the story. And everything that's going on with that it's like Tiger King shit. They're doing dolphin shows, they're jumping through hoops, they're having like all kinds of drama, and I'm just not really interested.
So is that the first part of the book, like telling us who these characters are, telling us what goes on at the park?
It kind of just goes throughout. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with the main character directly. Like, these people are having drama outside of him mostly. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't really matter for what the story's about, really.
Okay. It's more like scenery, like a place setting?
Yeah, kinda. The other characters in the book kind of just there to challenge the things he thinks, sort of.
Oh, so he does get pushback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not as much as he should have. Next, in the author's own words, this is semi-fictional.
So is this kind of like the Maine Coon cat book where it was written from the perspective of the animal and it was like semi-fictional because we want to add to the story?
No, this guy wrote a biography, but to cover his ass, he says it's fictional in the book.
Oh, so like
that's
I
what's
did
happening
crimes, but this is fictional, so you can't get me.
Yeah.
I'm on base.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Hey, this is like that O.J. Simpson. If I really was gonna kill her, this is how I would have done it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Except, he begins with an apology. And I promise you, an apology is in order, but not the one that he gives.
Okay.
Quote, I am sure almost anybody could write a better novel than this. Its chief defect, it seems to me, is that most of it happens to be true. And this is after the disclaimer that everything in this is fictional and not real, but he follows it right up with that.
This is just like that layers of attack. This is fictional, but hey, here's our mugshots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good Lord.
Now I have to describe a bonkers science experiment from the 60s. A Dr. John Lilly who did a lot of work in trying to communicate with animals and actually did a lot of really important work in the field trying to understand the intelligence of non-human animals.
Yeah.
He also did a lot of work involving dolphins, and a lot of that work was terrifically unethical.
Right. Is he the one who helped us understand that dolphins were actually intelligent? Because before that, weren't they seen as basically fish?
Yeah, he did a lot of work kind of putting up the modern understanding of dolphin intelligence. Mm-hmm. But he also credits it way too much. He goes way too far in the other direction.
Oh.
So I think he credits dolphins with way too much intelligence.
Okay.
The experiment they were trying to achieve, they were trying to talk to dolphins or try to teach dolphins how to speak. And you might have heard of the two biggest controversies. The first is when Dr. Lilly dosed himself and his dolphins with acid in order to expand their minds.
Right.
In order to communicate with each other.
And this was before it was illegal, right?
Probably. This would have been in the 60s, so I'm not sure when acid became illegal exactly.
Right. And like people like the CIA and other places were also dosing in order to do experiments and see what they could be done with it. So it's not like it was completely outside of the realm of stuff, but it is very bad to do it to animals.
Yeah.
That can't consent.
Well, animal consent is going to be very much up in the air in this story. Mm-hmm. The second experiment, Dr. Lilly had an intern, and her name was Margaret Howe.
Yeah. I think it's her story that I've heard about.
Right. A lot of people have heard about that one.
Yeah.
She closely worked with a young male dolphin named Peter. Big thing about young male dolphins, they don't pay attention well when they're distracted, and 90% of the time they're distracted by how horny they are. Mm-hmm. There's no knowledge as to whether she was coerced or if she came up with this idea on her own, but the solution that came up with was for Margaret to give this dolphin a handy. People found out about all this, the world blew up about it, and quickly after, Dr. Lilly lost funding and the project was scrapped. And this is necessary for the book that we're going over, as it's brought up a lot. We begin with our protagonist, Zachary Zimmerman.
And this is the author and narrator?
Yeah, this is the author's self-insert. He just named him Zachary Zimmerman.
So that's how it's fictional covering his ass. Mm-hmm. He gives himself a fictional name in this story that's based on true facts.
Yeah.
Okay. Zachary Zimmerman, really?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why he came up with that name. It's nothing like his name.
Huh.
And his name is Malcom Brenner, so I don't know.
Oh.
Before chapter 1, he claims, I never intended to fall in love with a dolphin. Starting off strong.
Yeah, that's okay.
Really setting some kind of tone.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what the tone is, and maybe only dogs can hear it, but there's a tone there, I'm sure. This, I believe, is a lie. And my main point throughout is going to be pointing out why I think it's a lie.
Right. He's trying to convince us, the reader, that this was unintentional. It just happened.
Yeah, the dolphin seduced him.
Yeah, okay.
Chapter 1, Zach is riding in a boat with his new employer, Selena, who is paying him to take photos of the dolphins at the park for an upcoming book that she's writing.
Okay.
They pull their boat up to a sea level pen, and basically all it is, there's a fence next to the beach where a dolphin is caged.
Enclosed, yeah.
Yeah, enclosed. Selena introduces Zach to the dolphin, Ruby, and she's a bottlenose dolphin. Quote, Selena knelt beside me, her blouse filling as she leaned over the water and extended a hand. Ruby rolled on her back, exposing an oyster shell belly with 2 faint pink strips that ran from her pectoral fins to her navel. The woman rubbed gently and the dolphin arched with delight. I was able to observe that, except for a short and curiously unrevealing slit where the peduncle met the trunk, her streamlined undercarriage bore no obvious traces of pubic hair, teats, or genitalia.
Dude, you're coming in here trying to look at it as a sexual being off the jump?
Insisting before this chapter started that you didn't want to fall in love with a dolphin, but the first thing you do...
You're examining it for genitalia?
Yeah, the first thing you do as soon as you see this dolphin, you're trying to figure out its junk and trying to figure out where its tits are.
Whoa.
Fucking wild.
Oh, yeah. That is not how normal humans look at animals, my dude.
And he's trying to convince us that he came into this without having like any kind of urge toward that kind of thing.
Yeah, sure,
and
dude. Yeah.
He's failing horribly.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And we'll find out as we go along that that is even more untrue.
Uh-huh.
And the dolphin acts like this every time he sees it. And as we find out later, she acts like this basically to anyone who gets near her. It's a fact that dolphins and animals in general can sometimes be attracted to humans. There have been cases where birds are attracted to humans and stuff like that.
Where, like, they mistake them for a mate and then they need them to survive.
Mostly when they're being kept in captivity and they're not in their normal environment where they should be.
Right. This isn't a wild animal walked into your house and said, hey, I like you, I'm going to move in. Mm-hmm. This is situations where animals are coerced and controlled by humans.
Right.
And then they gain affection for a human who has controlled and kept them. Mm-hmm. And that's the only way they can express their needs for comfort, touch, whatever.
Yeah. This was an animal that was caught as a juvenile and has been separated from any kind of normal dolphin culture for her entire life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of times zoo animals are weird.
Is the perception that the dolphin's turning over and showing her belly a sexual invitation?
He thinks so.
But even, like, dogs just roll over and show you their bellies as a sign of submission and they want belly rubs.
Yeah.
Most people would look at that and be like, oh, it's like a dog, it wants belly rubs.
Yeah. Well, he's got a little bit more reason to think that this is an overtly sexual thing, but we'll get into that.
Okay.
And we skip around to, they do a dolphin show. Zach goes back to his college, and it's New College in Florida.
Oh, he's really young.
Mm-hmm. He's 20.
Oh, he's in college. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's 19, about to turn 20.
All right.
So I think like second year of college, maybe third year, I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a real college with probably the stupidest possible name, I think. It's just New College.
Fancier than your old college.
And this was the 70s. Zach and his friends are just hanging out, smoking pot in one of the dorms. He tries to make his friends like these kind of archetypal characters. Mm-hmm. Quote, we were pretty tight, the four of us, and each knew his role. Terry the philosopher, Gilbert the clown, Hazy the mystic, and me, the mad artist. And it really just doesn't match up with their actions. So I don't know why he plants these archetypes onto them, because it doesn't match up, like, almost immediately.
Huh.
For instance, his friend Gilbert, who is supposed to be the clown, says, definitely synchronicity. synchronicity is a Jungian concept. So this should have been Terry, the
This should have been the
philosopher.
philosopher saying that.
Why,
Yeah.
and I don't... Why cast them in these roles that they just don't fit in? Especially because they're real humans, or real people.
Right.
So people don't fit into archetypes like that. So that's just a weird thing.
Yeah. Is he bad at reading people too?
I think so.
Okay.
These college kids are all doing drugs and getting drunk, and I think Zach must get a hold of like some powerful stuff later in the book.
Yeah.
They go to the beach and he has some kind of episode. He starts looking at his hands, and to him they seem like someone else's hands. Then he thinks there's a mind that has invaded his brain, and he like scares it off by metaphysically sending it into the stratosphere to be frightened by an aerial view of Florida.
I mean, Florida is genuinely scary.
I get that.
So he probably had acid or something.
Yeah, he does acid and all kinds of drugs throughout the entire book.
Okay.
He's pretty clear about using drugs
I mean,
and
college
stuff like
kids
that.
in the 70s. So, you know.
But he claims, at that particular event, he claims he started feeling that way before he started getting high, and it was bad weed, so it couldn't have been that. No one in the history of Florida has ever laced anything. Also, it's that fucking memory thing. Like, you remember an
Yes.
event, and, like, every time you go back and remember it...
You change the memory slightly in your
Right.
head. Yeah. Also, if you're trying to convince yourself it was this, it wasn't that, you're just going to keep telling yourself that and then try to add reasons around why.
Yeah, and he does that a lot. Then, someone brings up environmental studies, which reminds Zach that he needs to go to see the natural science professor, Wilbur Dine. I don't know why exactly he needs to go see the natural science professor, because he is a liberal arts student.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
not a scientist?
No.
Because you
He
said
is
he
a
was...
photographer.
Right, but you could be doing, like, photography, like, and have a science degree.
I guess, but that's not the degree
He's
he
liberal
goes for.
arts. Oh, okay. That's not what I was expecting.
And this whole thing with this science teacher, I don't know what exactly is going on, but he wants to do like a project that he can give to this natural science teacher in order to like accredit him somehow to someone. I don't know who, because it just doesn't make any fucking sense
Is
to
he
me.
wanting to do like marine photography since he worked on doing the dolphin thing for the person doing the book?
Maybe? I'm not sure.
Maybe he's high and doesn't know his motivations for anything.
I certainly don't know his motivations. It could also just be a college thing I just don't understand or something.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I mean, if you're doing like a thesis or a project and you have a specific goal, there can be people outside of your discipline that you go to for help if that has to do with your project. You know, so I'm just not sure if maybe that was something he needed.
Yeah, maybe. But he took this job just for money, to take pictures for this lady for her
Oh,
book.
so this isn't even like, okay, I
Yeah.
don't know then.
Now he's trying to alley-oop it into a project for school for some reason.
Okay.
And I don't know if he gets like credits from this or what, but whatever.
Right. I can later claim it was an internship and shave off 3 credits.
Maybe. I don't know. Professor Wilbur Dine asks Zach what he wants to do with these dolphins. Zach says he remembered his dad saying a Dr. John Lilly was studying dolphins, quote, so we will understand how to communicate with extraterrestrials when we meet them. I don't know what that... Maybe maybe in the 60s they thought that by figuring out how to communicate with dolphins, we can also figure out how to communicate with aliens. The 60s and 70s were weird.
I mean, you know what? This proves that guy from the aquarium was right.
Don't even get me started there.
Fish and aliens.
It is
man.
not
They're
lost
cousins,
on me
they're friends.
that I picked 2 aquatic-based books in a row.
With really fucking insane guys writing them, man.
Yeah. Continuing the quote, it was Lily's work that really caught my attention. The notion that by trying to communicate with dolphins, we might learn how to communicate with extraterrestrials. And this is Professor Dine. The field doesn't have a really good reputation, because of Lily.
Because of the screwing around with giving acid to dolphins
and jerking
them off. Yeah.
But why don't we start off like this? Get me a reading list, not just Lily stuff. Find some other sources. See what other scientists have to say about Lily's talking dolphins.
What does this have to do with photography?
I don't know.
What?
I have no idea why this is going on. There's no point to it in the end.
Okay. I am so confused. Maybe this could be some of the fictional part?
Maybe, I don't know. For whatever reason, he's decided to take on this extra project for funsies. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's about communicating with dolphins?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then he says, I've heard there's a new psychologist training a dolphin at Trident Marine Lab. Why don't you try to hook up with him? So here we have a person of authority telling Zach to look for other sources than Lily.
Yeah.
And it's not the last time either. Every time he brings up Lily in conversation with somebody who knows who he is, that person has some kind of strong reaction, whether it's anger or outright rejection of Zach just because he brought them up. Later,
he doesn't get the hint.
He does not get the hint. Later, he talks to the local scientist that Wilbur Dunn had brought up. Quote, excellent, there's so much we don't know about that subject. And tell me, what are you reading? Well, all of Lily's work. Amazing, the way the air around me suddenly congealed. A scowl replaced Shove-Off's smile, and flakes of snow fell between us. That man, he hissed, is either crazy or 50 years ahead of his time, and most of us think he's crazy. If that's the course you're determined to take, I'm afraid I can't help you. Goodbye.
Wow. Also, he probably damaged the reputation of all people wanting to do experiments or understand dolphins.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to do any kind of research in that field has to immediately distance themselves from Lily.
Yeah.
Because it's such bad
PR.
Yeah. So upon hearing this, Zach gets fucking indignant about it. Even though he's already read some of Lily's work, he should know why it's controversial.
But he's also not a scientist.
He's not a scientist.
So he's coming in without any scientific training or reasoning at all, taking what this one scientist, this fringe scientist is saying,
as
and believing
gospel.
him over all of the current experts. Oh, dear.
Yep. Quote, I had just received my first lesson in scientific objectivity, in quotes.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's what,
And it was not a pleasant one. The contemptuous way Shove-Off dismissed me would stick in my craw for years, turning me against the scientific study of dolphins. I had lost an opportunity to become a scientist, and he had lost the chance to help make me one.
My dude, you would have to change your degree to become a scientist.
This scientist does not owe you a fucking thing. Like, he thinks it's some grave mistake that he did not do everything in his power to fix his misunderstanding.
This guy didn't fawn over him and apologize for having a negative reaction. So it's his fault. I'm a villain now.
Yeah. He made me this way. He's the reason I fucked a dolphin. So it's clear to me that Zach doesn't have like any actual interest in science.
No.
He disregards other people as materialists if they have no sense of the, quote, spiritual plane as someone as enlightened as he does. The 20-year-old burnout art student thinks he understands the science of reality better than everyone else because he dropped fucking acid.
Yep.
Later, he retells this incident to Selena while he's asking to borrow one of Lily's books that she has. And she gets pissed at Zach.
Is she a scientist too, or is she a businesswoman?
She's more of a dolphin enthusiast.
But she runs that...
She doesn't run the park. She is sort of dating the guy that runs the park, and he doesn't own it either. He's just there running it. He's the manager of the place. And she's dating him, even though he's married and has like 12 kids.
Okay. But she's associated vaguely with the park. She's not a scientist or a businesswoman. So he asks to borrow a book from her.
Yeah. Quote, Lily's killed more dolphins than all the other marine mammalogists put together, she says. 5 dolphins at Marineland died because he stuck electrodes in their brains.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Zach argues, no, they died from the anesthesia. It was the 1950s, and nobody knew back then that they don't have a breathing reflex if they go unconscious. Which is true. But
maybe you would have figured that out after 1 or 2, not 5.
yeah, well, that's exactly what Selena says, actually. Selena interrupts him. They stop breathing. I know about all that. Each breath they take is a deliberate act of will. 1 or 2 I could understand, but you don't have to kill 5 to prove a point.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That is so funny.
Look, I don't want to stick electrodes in your dolphin's brains. I certainly wouldn't waste any good acid on them. Wilbur Dine, my biology professor, gave me this stupid reading list. Lily's book's on it. So his professor didn't even want him to really read Lily.
He's lying to her.
Yeah, he's using his professor as a cudgel for him to get a hold of material about Lily.
Yeah. And trying to give him more validation as a scientific resource than the professor gave.
Mm-hmm. And trying to have, like, this reason to look into this weirdo that everyone else has already told him why this guy is bad.
Yeah.
Back to quotes with Selena. It's Lily's methodology I find so disgusting. He's a sexual pervert, setting up that poor young woman to live with a male dolphin for 6 weeks. Trying to teach him English my ass, she ended up screwing him. I dropped it. Selena was my access to the dolphins, and Lily's book wasn't worth endangering that. He's basically telling us this research he's doing isn't what he wants. And the stakes are not losing this project for school or losing this job. It's access to the dolphins that he's worried about.
Yeah, he's like, oh, if I carry on that I'm very interested in this creep, she's going to think I'm a creep and not let me access the dolphins. Mm-hmm. This is very predatory.
It is very predatory. And he doesn't see it, is the weird thing.
Or he's lying.
I think he's lying, personally.
Because he knows she would get red flags if he pushed it and continued going honestly with his thoughts.
Yeah. So he drops it, but she just gives him the book anyway, like just fucking throws it at him.
Like, get out of here.
She doesn't want it.
Right. Wow.
Quote, I caught it on the cover, a smiling young woman in a wet leotard hugged an enormous dolphin arched sideways in a shallow pool. What was so perverted about that? So this is really the point. I don't think that this author is actually stupid. I think he's playing stupid. Mm-hmm. She just told him that woman fucked a dolphin. Mm-hmm. And he just doesn't think it through at all. If I told you about a man that raped a woman, then handed you a picture with the rapist and the victim standing together in a friendly manner, that would be an even more upsetting image. Mm-hmm. That would make the image somehow like more malignant feeling. Mm-hmm. And I think it's telling that he does not think this way.
Right.
Do we need to take a break for a minute?
Yeah, it's getting hot.
Yeah.
Let's not do a gross ad thing, please. You know who else throws books at your fucking head when you bring them to me and they're this? Our ads that are also me throwing books at your head. You ducked, damn it.
Hello, bad book loving friends. Just updating our socials. We're on Blue Sky now at bugs-bibliowrecks.bsky.social. We have a Substack at Bugs and Books, and the profile name is Bugs at BiblioWrecks. And of course, our website, BiblioWrecks.com. Drop us a message and check out the content that Bugs works on. She's really good at the social stuff. And let's get back to that bad book.
I threw books at him. He didn't learn his lesson, so we're back to do the rest of this stupid book.
That's funny. Back to the pain. Throughout the story, Zach tries to figure out a way to communicate with Ruby the dolphin.
The one that he saw, he was taking photographs of initially.
There are other dolphins at the park, but he just doesn't have any interest in them.
Just this one specific dolphin.
Just this one specific dolphin.
Okay.
He plays fetch with her and yells words at her, and she squeals back at him. But Ruby is more or less just presenting her underside to him like the whole time. And eventually, after some, quote, resistance, after a couple weeks, he starts fingering the dolphin and even tries to penetrate, but he can't keep it up and gives up.
That's really, really fast. To go from, yo, at the beginning of this book, I didn't intend to fuck a dolphin. Whoops.
Oh no.
My pants fell off and I fell in. So he's unsupervised. He is unsupervised by other humans.
There are occasionally other people there, but he, of course, waits until everyone else is gone before he
is acting entirely predatory.
Yep, sure is. Every time they do like anything together, he anthropomorphizes everything she does. She'll bump him and he thinks she's teasing. Ruby attacks Zach's short-term girlfriend and he attributes it to jealousy. She presents her genitals, so she just must want him to fuck her. He thinks he's being aware of it, like trying to resist this urge. But he's not a biologist or just someone who knows a lot about dolphins or animals in general.
Right.
So he's got no frame of reference except human. So he assumes he understands her perfectly objectively.
He's thinking in his head, if a woman pulled up her dress and showed me her privates, that's an invitation to sex.
Yeah.
Therefore, this dolphin rolling over and showing her belly is the same as a woman inviting me to have sex with her.
That's exactly what he thinks, because he compares it directly with his short-term girlfriend that we're about to go over, because his girlfriend isn't like as passionately wanting to fuck him as he thinks this dolphin is. So he's constantly comparing the two, and it's fucking weird.
This guy's messed up.
This guy's really fucked up. I think he's really mentally ill, honestly.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with being mentally ill. Something wrong with acting on these impulses, my dude.
Yeah, and not looking for help.
Yeah. And he knows it's wrong because he's hiding it from other people.
Yeah. This leads me to Zach's for a short time girlfriend, Elaine. She's a high school senior.
Wait, what?
Uh-huh.
How old is she?
Doesn't say.
But she's like 17, 18.
Yeah,
18
probably.
at probably the most.
And he's 19, about to turn 20.
So we're close in age, but he's in college and she's in high school.
Yeah. And I wouldn't put it below this guy to fudge the ages a bit, especially since it was the 70s and nobody really cared about that stuff back then.
Right.
So already we're put in a really fucked up position, right? College kid dating a high schooler or fucking a dolphin. Which one's worse?
And the fact that he's comparing a high school girl to a dolphin in his head and their sexual desires and proclivities. This is fucking gross.
Yeah, it is.
This is go to jail. This is go to jail.
Yeah, preemptively, this book is going to jail.
Yeah,
this guy
no
needs to go to jail and get some fucking help.
And that's why he said this is a work of fiction, because he knows this is go to jail material.
Covering his ass.
Yeah.
So she's a high school senior who's friends with Zach's little brother.
Okay.
They hit it off when they meet, and she quickly starts being kind of distant because her dad thinks she's too young to be dating a college student.
Agree.
So she starts giving what Zach thinks are mixed signals. And, you know, if you don't want a confused high schooler, you know, maybe don't date a high schooler.
Maybe you should just date someone your own age, man.
Yeah.
Who's human.
A
human adult woman.
She's also unsure about beginning a relationship with someone who's about to switch schools and be going to college like a few hours from them, because he's about to switch to a Tampa university.
So is he at like a community college?
I think New College is a community college. I
okay.
Not
So
entirely sure.
so he's about to transfer. Yeah, it doesn't make sense for her to be in a relationship with him in this situation at all.
Right, because he's about to fuck off and be gone most of the time. So why would a high schooler want to
Invest
waste
in a
her
relationship?
free time?
Yeah.
Zach assuages these worries because he's got a car now and can visit her every weekend, and he can take her with him to swim with the dolphins. This gets her super excited. She's really excited to see these dolphins.
I mean, yeah, what teenage girl wouldn't be excited about swimming with dolphins?
Yeah, teenage girls love dolphins almost as much as Zach does.
You bastard! I don't forgive you.
I shouldn't be forgiven.
I will never forgive you.
Zach takes her to Florida Funland, where she gets to see the show and, as I said earlier, get attacked by Ruby, the dolphin. This obviously upsets her and pushes her further away from Zach. He also makes like a big deal about Ruby's jealousy, that she would never attack anyone without a reason, except she does, like several times in this book.
Also, they're not rational people, they're animals.
Yeah, you're attributing reason to it. That's not necessarily the reason, because you cannot talk to this goddamn dolphin.
No, and there's a long history of aquatic mammals attacking their human caretakers because they're under a lot of fucking stress.
Yeah, and they're
in
not
very
supposed to...
small environments that they're not suited to.
Yeah.
Oh, she loves me. She's jealous of my teenage girlfriend.
Yeah.
God.
But yeah, Ruby attacks, and
Does she hurt her?
Not really. She like kind of headbutts her, but
It scares her.
yeah, it mostly scares her.
Okay.
All the dolphins like occasionally like will fight with each other, because I mean that's just what animals do.
Yeah.
Ruby attacks Selena at one point. She attacks Zach at another point. But
But this specific situation was jealousy.
Yeah.
None of those other ones had any relation to this
because
one.
he's the only boy that matters to the dolphin.
He is the main character.
And also the guy that manages the park, Bo. But he's bigger than everybody else, so he just attributes it to the dolphins like playing and not understanding that they're 250 pounds bigger than people are. So also valid, I think, because most dolphins are around 400 pounds.
Really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So
I've never been
much
up
bigger.
close. I've never been close to a dolphin, so
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Me either, so.
No.
Mostly because I'm scared of them. I don't trust anything that can move better than me in water, so. After that incident, Zach is aware of Elaine, like, distancing herself. So he decides for his 20th birthday, he's going to invite her and one of her friends and one of his friends for a double dinner date party at his house. When he picks up Elaine, Elaine kisses him and, quote, he decides to overlook the fact there wasn't a whole lot of passion in it. God, what a douche. They've been dating for like a couple weeks, maybe?
Wait, what? This
Yeah.
isn't a long relationship?
No.
You did say it was short term. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Really short term. And she just gives him like
A peck
a
on the
normal
cheek.
kiss,
Normal
I guess. And he's like, that wasn't very passionate. Brr.
Wow.
They all have dinner, get high, and go to the beach because they live right next to the beach. The two pairs split, and Zach and Elaine start making out and pulling off clothes. Quote, and then that feeling shattered like the false, fragile thing it was, and I knew that I really wanted more than anything was not cold isolation, not anonymous copulation, but love. Unconditional love. Love without preconceptions. Love without expectations that I would ever become anything other than what or who I was. This guy wants a mommy. He just described a mother's love is what he described.
In the middle of thinking about sex with this girl?
Yeah. Well, he's thinking that what him and Elaine have at this point is just, anonymous copulation and not love. He wants unconditional love. Love without preconceptions, love without expectations. And that's the way your mom loves you.
Right, because when you are two adults, you have a give and take relationship,
Yeah.
not just take.
Yeah, you're not supposed to have that kind of relationship with a peer.
Right. Is he already thinking the dolphin will give me unconditional love?
I'm confused about that part.
Right.
I think he thinks it does, but there's a bit in it, just a little bit.
So he's already showing dissatisfaction having sex with this girl that he just started dating, and dissatisfaction with her amount of passion. So maybe they're just not compatible. Maybe there's this age difference and this different desires and life.
Fuck, I forgot what I was looking for. I'm sorry. What were we saying?
Well, he's in the middle of, like, having sex with this girl.
They're not having sex. They are pretty
Thinking
much
about
just
sex.
Yeah, they're like heavy petting right now.
Okay, and in the middle of heavy petting, he's like, I want unconditional love. I don't want to have to hold up my side of the relationship at all while he's in the moment with her.
Yeah.
Okay, this is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's super weird.
And then...
And at this point, he sees that she's looking uncomfortable and asks her if she wants to make love. She says, yes, no, Zach, I don't know. Why do you have to ask? Then Zach starts having an intrusive thought. Quote, in the wind, Elaine's hair swirled and clung like fronds of kelp, like the tentacles of some sea anemone. How it glinted when the lightning flashed. Ruby has no hair. No, I pushed the thought back. Something was tugging my mind out toward the dark rolling waters. Why do men always have to ask? Elaine asked, and buried her tongue in my mouth, her lips moist against mine. Ruby has no lips. So he's having like these intrusive thoughts about this dolphin while he's making out with his girlfriend. Do you need a minute to absorb that?
Do they have sex?
No, they don't.
He can't because he's thinking about this dolphin?
No. We'll get into it. So I don't entirely understand what is like happening in this relationship on her side.
Right.
We're getting this one-sided version of a relationship from a man who is more comfortable diddling a dolphin and dating high schoolers than finding someone age-appropriate of the same species that wants similar things to what he wants.
Right. Like, I am just so confused about what's going on in his head.
Yeah,
I'm
and
so confused.
He's not trying to understand why she's uncomfortable. He's trying to fix it and make the problem go away.
Right.
He has another intrusive thought. When they go back to making out, a sentence that is like number 3 in grossest sentences I've ever read. Quote, Ruby's breasts are on either side of her genital slit. Not as big and round as Elaine's, perhaps, but consider her arrangement. Breasts and cunt, clitoris and anus, all packed together. What a sensual nexus.
You know how they say if you had a time machine, you should go back in time and kill him as a baby? I disagree.
Yeah, we should use our one-time travel kill.
There's better uses of that time machine. I've decided. Oh my fucking God.
Now remember, I said that was number 3 in grossest sentences I've read.
Are they all from this book?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul.
Continuing that quote, Ruby has no conflicts, no inhibition. Ruby doesn't give mixed messages. And that is what I think is the reason he turns to the dolphin eventually. He doesn't have to read the dolphin. He can ascribe whatever emotion he wants on her, and Ruby can't tell him otherwise.
Yep.
All that matters is that he thinks Ruby wants him. No preamble, no regard for social etiquette. It's also clear to me that Zach doesn't really know what he wants. He's fine with the uninhibited lust coming from the dolphin, but when he thinks about it with Elaine having sex with him, then it's only lust if they have sex and she doesn't really love him. So I think he's just making up excuses to himself.
Yeah, he's trying to justify his own perversion.
Yeah. So at this point, he's writing it out like he's fighting back and forth with himself. Elaine! Ruby! No, Elaine! Elaine! Please, Elaine! Ruby! In a blue-white flash lightning, Elaine suddenly sat bolt upright, a wild, startled look in her eyes. Did you just ask me a question? I'd been wrong about the girl. In her own fashion, she was telepathic. In her own fashion, she was telepathic. In her own fashion, she was telepathic. More on that later, because, again, he's comparing her to the dolphin there.
Oh my god.
Yes, I said, looking away. Yes, I did. What was it? I can't tell you. We didn't hear him asking a question there.
No, he's having his own thoughts with his own self and attributing them to other people. This is called being crazy.
He is crazy, I think. So I don't know what the fuck that was about, personally. The night ends with things being uncomfortable between the two. A couple weeks pass and Elaine seems to have been dodging Zach's calls. And he finally gets a hold of her and tells her he wants to talk about things. He's going at it with like a lot of intensity. Like if she doesn't absolutely love him, someone's going to burn his fucking house down. So they meet up, quote, "What was it you wanted to talk about?" "Well, you, me, us?" "Oh, well, okay, talk." "Well, do you still want to..." "Elaine, what's happened?" "Well, nothing, I guess." "That's exactly it. Nothing happened. I've been trying to see you for almost 2 weeks, but every time I call it seems like you're busy, or you're not here, or you can't come to the phone. Our relationship is like sand slipping through my fingers, Elaine."
She sounds more mature than him.
She is.
He sounds like a baby.
And he continues being a baby because he's about to throw a fucking tantrum. And he's about to do something really weird. This one's probably number 2. Other sentences probably deserve it more, but this one's getting it for now. So they take a break from their conversation for a minute, and she asks Zach if he wants a drink. So she says, "Just you can go in the kitchen and grab a drink out of the fridge." So he goes in the kitchen, gets a drink. He sees someone hadn't cleaned off the range after fixing dinner. There was still some scraps of half-cooked potatoes and onions clustered around the burner where they'd fallen out of the frying pan. Without a second thought, I scooped them up and threw them in my mouth.
He just allows any intrusive thought to guide his actions.
I will say throughout the book, he does bring up a lot that he is totally fucking broke and he's hungry most of the time. So I guess I get it, but also fucking gross.
That's gross. Yeah.
And Elaine sees him doing this. Like, she comes into the kitchen when he does it and she sees him. She's like, "Ew, gross. I can't believe he just did that." Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
So he gets really defensive. "What are you talking about?" I said. "That was perfectly good food. You just cooked it yourself. There was nothing wrong with it, and I'm starving. But it was just lying around on top of the stove. It was cold and disgusting," Elaine says. "Look, I'm sorry I ate the food or garbage or whatever you thought it was." Fucking gaslighting her about the trash that's in her house. "But what's the point of my coming over here? To discuss my eating habits or to talk about what's happening between us?" Swerve. What can I say? I mean, like you said, I still like you and all, and you still like me, right? So where did you want this to go after all? So she's being mature. She's like, "What do you want out of this relationship?" And he says, "I want us to go back to where we were that night we first met. There was such a sense of excitement about our relationship then that I was hoping we could bring it back and enjoy each other's company like we used to."
They've known each other for a matter of weeks.
Yeah. And he's like, "Why can't we do it like the good old days?"
You'd think they were an old married couple or something.
So he got giddy about the start of the relationship, and now it's plateaued, and that's just how, like, any relationship goes. Yeah. So he just doesn't understand how things work. Back to more quotes. "But the fact was, here was a girl," and this is him thinking to himself, But the fact was, here was a girl who had grown up so sheltered, so protected, she couldn't even deal with me scarfing a few leftovers off her stove top.
I don't think that's about being sheltered. I think that's about being gross.
Like, if it had been in a pan or something on the stove and freshly cooked, sure, maybe, but you picked it up off the stove, dude.
That was dirty, old, gross. You could have told her, hey, I'm hungry. Do you have leftovers? Mm-hmm. Like, he could have behaved in a normal way.
Yeah, but no, he just ate off the stove like a nasty fuck. Something inside me, bent to the breaking point, snapped. And I said the one thing you should never, ever say to a woman. I was hoping you'd fuck me. For a few seconds, nobody said anything. I am sure Elaine, who was mixing up another batch of dough, couldn't believe what she'd heard. She lifted her head to look at me as if I'd said I'd seen a cat fly by. What? I said, I was hoping you'd fuck me. Why do I have to repeat myself? Elaine continued to stare at me. Shelley turned purple. Shelley is her friend. And
wait, there's a friend
there. There's also a friend there.
Yeah. He's saying this in front of other people?
Yeah. No awareness.
Okay, nope. I understand why he's attracted to animals. He's not a human.
He certainly doesn't understand human social etiquette.
No.
At all.
He's incapable of humaning.
God, I can't believe you'd even say something like that, Elaine says. So it goes downhill from here, obviously, and she dumps his ass. Correct move. And he never sees her again. So, now that we've gotten through that, let's get to the alleged Dolphin telepathy. As I mentioned earlier, he had an out-of-body experience while he was high. This usually happens when he's high, but not exclusively, like meaning once he wasn't high and it happened. He says he always held some amount of disbelief, but when he comes to believe strongly that the dolphin is contacting him telepathically, as if she is astrally projected into his mind, his paranoid delusion convinces him that Ruby is a pioneer dolphin scientist trying to establish contact with humans, and she wants to fuck him. He gives us the information time and time again, in his own words, that this is a delusion, and even he shouldn't believe this. He writes her, like, kind of childlike when she's speaking in his mind, to present something, like, kind of alien, I guess. Something alien that's trying to learn about another culture, but she uses exclusively human concepts to talk. She doesn't compare things to things a dolphin would know. She simply plucks things from his mind to convince him she's real. When he asks her for information that he doesn't know himself, she just kind of murmurs or doesn't give a direct answer. You know, like something in your mind wouldn't do or would do.
Right, because you're trying to come up with new ideas that you actually can't. So now you're just getting vagueness because you're not creative enough to have these other ideas and things.
And he's trying to, like, be aware of these things, but he's not actually taking heed of them. Like, he's thinking about these things, but he doesn't really want to engage with them. So I don't know if this is, like, some kind of after-the-fact thinking, coming back and being like, oh, well, I must have thought about it like this or something.
Right, because do you know how much later it was he wrote this book?
The epilogue takes place in 95, but this book has 3 separate copyrights. So I'm not exactly sure when this was written, because it's got a copyright in 1974. So the earliest this could have been written was 74, if I'm remembering correctly. It was also copyrighted in 91 and again in 2009.
Interesting.
So this guy has double and tripled down on this.
Right.
The dolphin also doesn't communicate telepathically when they are actually, like, next to each other. His delusion assuages this thought by saying he should be able to understand her without it when he's next to her. Several times he gets super duper high to boost his telepathic reception, where he pretends to be a dolphin and goes swimming with Ruby by jumping over the short border wall of her enclosure. But during the delusion, he thinks it through and remembers earlier that day she was in a different enclosure. So the one that they jumped out of is not the one that she is in reality. And when he points this out, the delusion dissolves.
So he's just high and having hallucinations.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think it's entirely just getting high. I think this is
psychosis.
I think this is psychosis
coupled by
with
drugs, baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
In his own words, he is telling us that this isn't real several times, but by the end of the book, he is doubtlessly believing that it's real. And he never faces like any of the points that he himself brings up in this book that this is a delusion. He just ignores it and looks for evidence affirming what he wants to believe, which is that a dolphin is psychically linked to him.
Okay. So he currently believes, at this point in the book, that Ruby the dolphin is in love with him.
Mm-hmm.
She can psychically communicate with him.
Mm-hmm.
Can he psychically communicate with her?
Yeah.
And they commune and swim together.
Yeah. She can go into his head and see what he's seeing, feel what he's feeling. He can also astrally project to her and appear outside her body in the delusion in like some sort of astral dolphin shape. Mm-hmm. So, weird. It's also really funny whenever whenever he's having these delusions, because he'll be like in a dorm room or on his couch in his house, and he's like imagining himself swimming as a dolphin, but in real life he's actually like flopping around to the point that he breaks a bed. And, like, his college buddies just, like, rush up and are just like, are you all right?
Because he looks like he's having a seizure.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So, real life, he's just flopping and he's just pretending to be a dolphin.
Yeah.
Another funny part is when he's delusioning that he's astral projecting with the dolphin, and they go on the swim through the ocean. Ruby takes him out to meet some other dolphins.
Uh-huh.
Who have some names.
Okay.
And when they meet up, they all do a little roll call.
Oh.
Rhomboteryx here.
Okay.
Anapeximus here.
Okay.
And then Ruby says her name. Ruby Nasitas here. So, like, why would her name match with the one that people gave her?
It should be completely different.
Right. This is obviously a delusion that you're making up yourself.
Yeah.
So, I think this guy's definitely, like, mentally ill and needs help.
Yeah. But the fact that we're now... Because you said he's still on YouTube defending this shit. Mm-hmm. Like, he has not learned his lesson. He copyrighted this thing 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is a man. I feel like, to me, this almost reads like a cry for help.
Right, but he doesn't think he needs help. He thinks he has, like, the secret to the universe.
Yeah, I mean, maybe subconsciously he thinks he needs help. I don't know. If he is, he's asking for help in a world that I don't think is prepared or able to help him with this.
Right, because I don't think they had really good care for this kind of thing in the 70s.
No,
we would have more help for that now.
Yeah.
But, my God.
Time to quit fucking around it. Let's get to the chapter.
Dum dum dum.
Up until now, the book has been simply written in first person. We're following Zach. Zach is I.
Right.
Everyone else is they.
Okay.
But this chapter, where he assaults a dolphin, he writes Ruby as you.
So he turns first-person narrative from the dolphin's perspective to justify what he's doing.
I guess. I don't know. He's writing Ruby as if you, the reader, are Ruby. And he's talking to you. So it's still first person. Zach is still I, but the reader is now the dolphin.
Wait, what? So it's not first-person narrative from Ruby's perspective?
No, this is...
He's writing a love letter to Ruby.
Sort of,
From
I guess.
himself to Ruby. Ruby is now the reader.
Yeah, I'll read you some excerpts.
Okay.
So you'll get a sense of how it's written.
Okay.
You drifted to the shore of the main pool and floated before me, calm, expectant, your gaze inviting. You were in no hurry, and neither was I. We both knew we were going to get what we had wanted for so long. In our hearts, you were not Dolphin, and I was not human. We were simply a pair of lovers about to enact the oldest dance of all. You were the ocean in my arms, sleek, wet power. Your buoyancy supported us. You breathed explosively, but made no other sounds as my fingers caressed the subtle curves of your breasts. Then, as I found your vulva... Do you need a break? I need a break. This is terrible. Let's get through this. Any thoughts?
So he is very explicitly explaining how he molests a dolphin.
Uh-huh. That he is either convinced himself or is convinced that at this point in the story we're convinced is consenting.
Right. He thinks that she's fully on board and... So in our timeline, how long ago did he meet Ruby, the dolphin?
I think at this point, either 6 or 9 months before.
Okay, so she's familiar with him as a person who comes and plays with her.
Yeah, and sometimes rubs her naughty bits.
So he's touched her genitals before, but this is his first time trying to penetrate her with his penis?
This would be the second time. He tried once before, but he gave up.
Okay. And so this is him just saying, this is how sex with a dolphin works, and this is what I did.
This is their passionate first embrace, which thankfully it's also the only one, but...
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And so for him, this is the candlelit romance shot of the film.
Yeah, of him assaulting a dolphin while no one else is at the zoo.
Right. Is this like at nighttime?
Nope, it's during the day.
Just no one's there.
Yep, it's just after work hours.
Okay. Like, he knows this is wrong.
Yeah.
He is avoiding other people seeing him do this. And he wrote this and told the world what he did.
Yep. And has doubled down and tripled down more times than is necessary.
Like,
See, that's why I feel like it's a cry for help, because he keeps he's dying to tell people he fucked a dolphin.
I don't know if it's a cry for help or if it's he's seeking validation and he's looking for that one person who will say, yeah, cool, man.
Yeah, maybe. It seems to be what he wants because, he found Lily, who also had stuff to do with fucking dolphins, and he stuck with that, even though everyone else that he's come across that could have potentially known more on the subject than Lily has told him, don't listen to Lily, and he
rejected scientific
is
perspectives.
totally defiant to
Right.
conventional scientific perspective, yeah.
Right, which means he just has an agenda, and he's seeking out validation from any corner of the internet or any weird scientific weirdo that he can find.
And just like with the dolphin telepathy, he's just trying to find things to affirm what he wants to believe anyway. Should I finish the rest of the...
I mean, if it's super important... Because we get the idea.
It's not important. I don't want.
Obviously, she probably physically reacts because something is happening to her body, and he takes it as a positive thing, whether or not she actually felt comfortable or not.
Right. Which he also makes a big deal that this is a 400-pound animal. If it wanted to get away from me, it could have. But at the same time, the guy that manages the park goes and catches dolphins by hand. So it's not impossible to force an animal in this situation.
Also, these are trained animals in enclosures.
Right.
He's insane.
Yeah.
He's just insane.
Yeah, that's really all it is. So I'm gonna skip the rest of it because it's just fucking nasty.
Let's just skip the rest of it because we get the idea.
Yeah, he fucks the dolphin. He fucks the dolphin.
Yeah.
So, skipping the worst of the detail, but he really puts the reader in the passenger seat
Yeah, because he's wanting us to engage with it and feel like we're the ones doing that.
Right.
That's kind of insane.
It is insane.
But that's why I think he's pursuing validation.
Right.
He wants you to read this and to agree with him.
Yeah, but that's just so fucking mind-blowing that he wanted that. That's like, I can't imagine a more intimate way of writing that.
Right.
To involve the reader like that. Mm-hmm. Fucking nasty. Anyway, this guy spends an entire book convincing us that the dolphin has consented to this. Maybe dolphins can, in their own mind, consent to sex with people, but this dolphin was caught as a juvenile, separated from its family, put in a pen for its whole life, while Zach is not, like, directly coercing. The situation and the trainers are.
Also, we cannot talk to dolphins.
Right.
Because we cannot talk to them, and they cannot talk to us. We cannot establish consent.
But he's trying to convince you through this whole psychic bullshit that she is.
Because he's having delusions of mental conversations.
Right.
That still doesn't reduce the wrongness of what he did, because he's hiding his behavior from other people. Mm-hmm. He is telling us the story after the fact, but he's also trying to cloak it as fiction so he doesn't go to jail.
Right.
He knows this is wrong and socially unacceptable.
You know what?
I dare you to open your mouth. I dare you. Do you want to live to get home tonight? Do you want to survive? No, you're not gonna. Ads! No. No.
You know what really... Did you have a bring in?
Did you learn your lesson?
I'm sorry. I won't do a gross ad pivot. All right. We got through probably the hardest part.
Okay, good.
While these parts of the story were all happening together, like all this with Ruby and the telepathy over the course of like months and years and the girlfriend are all happening like concurrently, I just wanted to do them in like big chunks.
Right.
So over the course of that, the park was also getting shut down and sold. Mm-hmm. And Zach was planning on going to college in Washington State.
Okay.
At around the same time.
Still for his photography liberal arts degree.
I guess.
Okay.
I don't really know. I think film is what he's moving to when he goes up there. I'm not sure.
But he never switched to science or anything actually related to biology or anything.
Yeah,
he's stuck with his liberal arts stuff.
Right. I still don't understand it because he's getting his degree at New College, but he'll spend like some number of semesters in Tampa, and then he spends like a year up in Washington State, and then comes back to New College for his degree.
That's weird.
I don't understand what is happening here.
Maybe he just keeps dropping out or something.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, considering how poorly he seems to understand other humans or how to act human, it would be shocking to me if he got through a 4-year degree.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he just wanted to get some Dolphin before he left.
A romantic goodbye.
Yeah. While he's gone, he maintains his delusion about Ruby being in his mind, though the connection seems to weaken. And the voice simply asks where he is. And at this point, all he knows is that Ruby is going to be moved somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't know ultimately what her fate is going to be. All he knows is that she's going to get moved and the park is closing down.
Oh, okay.
He leaves to go to Washington State for like a year, and he has this nightmare about Ruby being in a dungeon, dying in a box that his friend is holding. And Ruby is actually allegedly dead at this point. And he makes like a big deal trying to match up when he had this dream to her actual date of death.
Because he's trying to prove it was a real connection.
Right. But we're not directly given the date that he had the dream, so it doesn't really hit the same way for us that he seems to think it will. But at this point, he doesn't know that she's dead. He's just had this bad dream. He gets some mail. He's gotten some correspondence from his hero, Dr. John Lilly.
Oh, no.
I'm going to skip to the part where he actually meets him. He wants to do this because he is dying to tell someone that he fucked a dolphin. Like, it is eating him up inside that someone doesn't know.
Yeah.
In the 9 months since Ruby and I made love, the need to share the experience with someone, anyone, had become overwhelming. So he travels to Dr. Lily's house, but the doctor also has an interview that day, pretty much at the same time that Zach shows up. The interviewer, whose name is Jules, asks to get started, and they start talking about dolphins. Quote, and this is coming from Dr. Lily. Mm-hmm. It's just my mission. A role in my life I've been assigned. And then Jules asks, assigned by who? You mean assigned by God? Not God in the way you're talking about God, because the guy asks him, how do you know what God I'm talking about?
Right.
Because your previous question indicates you're talking about God in the consensus reality model, which assumes that God is some kind of authoritarian father figure who's laying the strip on us all, programming us as obedient robots at the subroutine level, when in reality, it's not that way at all.
A match made in heaven. They're both completely delusional.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I understand why Lily is his hero. It's because they're the same fucking asshole.
Yeah, they're both... I have access to secret information that no one else understands, and it justifies my perversions.
So the guy asks, how would you know? And in Zach's thoughts, because he's here watching this, he thinks, I was beginning to enjoy this. Jules had inadvertently adopted an unproductive confrontational interviewing technique. Like most leftist political radicals, he was a devout materialist who, having no concept of the spiritual dimension, grew flustered when the conversation turned that way. Yeah, I also get really frustrated when someone brings up a bunch of stupid bullshit.
When we decide to divert from reality as the consensus of reality, and you have your own little bubble of reality, we no longer can have a conversation.
Right. Lily was quiet for several seconds. Finally, he says, I've been there.
Where?
In reference to his question, how would you know about God?
Oh, you've been in God?
So Jules asks, you talk to God? No, been God.
So he has delusions too. Oh, great.
Really? Jules asks. And now we get another stream of stupid bullshit. Well, it's apparently my biocomputer simulating one of the higher level metaprogrammatic entities that control coincidence in these local space-time ordinates, not absolute God. Because there's only so much you can do with the human hardware and still come back and talk about it intelligently, like we're doing here. But for all practical intents and purposes, yeah, I've been God, and I can tell you, it's not a personality. It's a consensual process. We're all here not because somebody put us here, but because we agreed to be here.
Okay. Nonsense, blah, blah, nonsense.
Yeah, they're both the same arrogant, needlessly contrarian, pseudo-philosophical, pseudo-intellectual burnout.
Yeah.
They're both constantly, doing psychedelics and trying to expand their mind, man. And that's stupid bullshit. And they think it makes them better than everyone else because they fucking dropped acid.
Yeah.
The interviewer turns the conversation to Vietnam because that's actually what the interview was supposed to be about.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Lily just brought up some bullshit about dolphins because I guess he's just obsessed
with talking about this.
So you oppose the war in Vietnam? Not really. You don't? Then you support it. No, not that either.
Oh.
Lily said, a note of indignation beginning to creep into his voice. That's faulty polarized logic. It just strikes me as unfortunate misplacement of our resources when we could be doing better things with them.
We could be funding dolphin research instead of bombing little kids.
But regardless of what he thinks it should be attributed to, saying that means he fucking opposes it.
Yeah.
He's just being a dick.
He's just unwilling to say, I have an opinion.
Yeah, he's just being a contrarian. He doesn't want to be put in a binary box.
Right.
Because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
This is the kind of asshole that thinks he's transcended past the petty fates of people being melted alive with fucking napalm because he's done more drugs.
This is like those people who are like, I'm above the left-right paradigm.
That's
but
exactly
then they
who
just
this
turn
fucking
around
guy
and
is.
say, I don't like paying taxes.
Yeah. And Zach, by the way, is eating this bullshit up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This
Fist
is...
at it, fist after fist.
He
He's
loves
loving
this guy.
it.
Yeah.
My admiration for Lily was growing by leaps and bounds. The guy was really, truly cosmic. Almost frighteningly cosmic. Same fucking asshole.
Yep.
The interviewer leaves, and Zach tells Lily about his experience, sans dolphin sex.
Oh, he keeps that part out.
He does. He doesn't know that he can trust Dr. Lily yet.
Because he knows what he did was wrong.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Lily starts feeding him like heaping mouthfuls of bullshit. He's actually lucky. He doesn't have a background in science. It would make him too close-minded.
He would hate Lily like the other scientists who actually understand
who are actually doing
things.
Science and not just dropping acid with dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
And Lily and his new wife using their dyadic relationship to explore higher realms of consciousness instead of using psychedelics, which is a fancy way of saying they're fucking until they think they've learned a deeper truth about the universe. Which is baffling to me. Then they get to talking about Lily's original experiment with Margaret and Peter the Dolphin. Mm-hmm. That when they got separated, Peter died of a broken heart.
Ah, yes. Not
so
the
sad.
trauma of being moved.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
It's so sad, right?
So sad.
Right. This actually turns out to be a fucking lie.
Peter didn't die?
Peter did die, but it's actually sadder.
Yeah.
After Lily's experiment got shut down, Peter the Dolphin got sold. When he was put into an aquarium in an abandoned bank, alone, which dolphins are social creatures, they hate being alone.
Yeah.
Barely big enough for him to turn around in, wasn't being cleaned regularly or filtered.
Oh, God.
This is the real reason Peter the Dolphin held his breath until he died.
He was abused until he killed himself.
Yeah. He didn't die of a broken heart. He died of abuse.
That's horrifying.
And this guy is taking this subject that he has not actually researched and is using it as some fucking... Oh, God damn it. He's using that to justify him fucking a dolphin.
Yeah, because he thinks Peter dying by not breathing...
Yeah, proves that he is capable of the same level of love humans are.
Right. And that transfers to Ruby, and that causes that relationship to be real or whatever, when they have nothing to do with each other, and Peter's circumstances are horrifying and inhumane.
And it doesn't even transfer over to Ruby, because, number one, Rufy turns her belly up to get her genitals stroked by everyone. Mm-hmm. So, and later on in the story, he meets a guy at a party. He also went to the park and fingered the dolphin.
Oh my God, there's more of them.
There's more of them.
Oh no, it's an endemic.
But he didn't fuck the dolphin because he thought it would be gross. He thought it was just funny that he fingered the dolphin.
Oh my God. When is Florida gonna fall off?
Yeah.
Float away.
And that guy like calls Ruby like a slut dolphin, and Zach gets like so pissed off he like just stomps off and leaves the party.
That's kind of funny.
It is funny, but it fucks with him because
breaks the illusion that it was only him.
Right. And it's so weird because he's using this story with Peter the Dolphin dying of a broken heart to push us in this direction. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, when Ruby is just free with sex for everybody, he's mad about it, but his delusion tells him, yeah, I'm a dolphin. Dolphins just fuck around. It's nothing personal, dude. And he accepts that.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's several layers removed from reality.
Yeah. Dude's fucking crazy.
So Ruby did die?
Ruby did die.
After she got sold?
Yeah, she got moved with another dolphin that she was familiar with and moved in with a large group of dolphins. Mm-hmm. And she kept attacking the dolphin that she knew because he was a trick dolphin. And every time he went to go do a trick, she would like get in the way of where he was going to land. Mm-hmm. So he would stop doing tricks so he wouldn't run into her.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's an animal that's acting on things that we cannot possibly know.
Yeah.
Including this guy, because it's an animal that lives an entire life outside of him, however sad that life is, inside of a cage or a pool or whatever. Mm-hmm. This guy is not the center of this dolphin's universe like he thinks it is.
Right. Poor Ruby.
Poor Ruby. Yeah.
Poor Peter.
Like, this is sad, but it's sad on top of the industry of caging dolphins, an animal that lives wide and free in the ocean and should be just allowed to do that.
Yeah, like, they are way too big to be held in human enclosures.
Yeah.
It's just not good at all. And they're not domesticated like horses or cows. It's just unacceptable.
Zach goes back to Florida, where he finds out that Ruby is dead. He's devastated. That's when his delusion comes rushing back. So now, instead of Ruby, the telepathic dolphin, it's Ruby, the telepathic ghost dolphin. I'm not really going into it because it's pretty clear this guy is just mentally ill and is, like, self-soothing himself with his delusion. The guy's gross and weird, but it's mostly sad. And I would pity the guy if he wasn't so fucking gross.
I would pity him if he wasn't trying to spread this word around.
Yeah.
3 copyrights. YouTube interviews. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't
He's been keeping up with this for like 50 years.
Yeah.
Because he's like 70. He started this shit when he was 20.
Yeah. Nah, piece of trash.
Yeah, he is.
Piece of garbage.
I agree. He's mentally ill, but you can be mentally ill and a piece of shit at the same time.
Oh, yeah. No, and you can be mentally ill and not harm anyone else. Mm-hmm. This guy harmed a dolphin.
Yeah. I'm going on a tangent right here because I simply need to read a single sentence.
Okay.
And it's number 1. Grossest sentence I've ever read.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So during this time, Zach he's back home. He's reconnecting with old friends and meets up with his friend Hazy and his new wife. And tells them about his dolphin ghost problem. Hazy was like some form of Buddhist and like seeking enlightenment, whatever, and started hitchhiking across America, visiting these ashrams. I think they're like temples or something. And he found one in California where he met his wife. But this ashram was run by a more culty version of the cult. One of those weird rapey ones. Hazy claims the leader was practicing dark magic.
Okay.
Quote, I listened, dumbfounded, as she revealed in intimate detail the tantric practices that had allowed the guru to suck her vaginal secretions through his urethra and convey them up his spinal cord to his pituitary gland, where they became the source of his supernatural powers.
I hate you.
I hate me too. Wasn't that the worst fucking sentence in existence?
Like, I've heard the idea that, you know, if a man like can withhold his ejaculation, he won't lose his power to the woman.
Yeah.
Like, if he ejaculates, the woman will gain his essence.
Yeah.
And so by withholding, he retains his power. I have never heard it in such explicitly gross terms.
Right.
That he can suck out her essence through his pee-pee.
I'd never heard of anything like that, much less read it on a page.
No.
That sentence is the most fucked up I've ever read.
That is the most insane thing I've heard in my goddamn life.
Well, I'm glad
episode peaked, podcast peaked. That's the worst. That is go to jail.
I would challenge someone to try to find me a grosser sentence,
no,
but I don't want to hear anything worse than that.
I want to hear some funny back, please. I need a break. Oh my god.
Anyway, Hazy and his wife ran away from the cult and converted to Christianity and claimed that they accepted God the moment they accepted God into their heart. The leader of the cult died of a brain aneurysm.
That's because her essence became Christian and poisoned him.
Makes sense. So then they try to convert Zach because the dolphin ghost illusion is a demon or something.
Yeah, sure.
Because dolphins don't have souls.
Oh, that's why.
That's why. So he leaves because he's just like...
Their delusion contradicts my delusion.
Yeah. But also he's like, Christians, gross. But like... he doesn't believe in Christianity, but he believes in like Eastern mysticism, woo-woo shit, enough to try some woo-woo shit, mostly involving drugs.
To help with the dolphin ghost.
Right. And he lands on something called Gestalt therapy, and there's this practice in it where you sit 2 chairs in a room, you sit down in the chair, and have half of a conversation, like you say a sentence, switch chairs, and whatever it is you're having a problem with, you speak from their perspective.
Okay.
And complete the other half of the conversation, and you just keep switching back and forth.
Okay.
He's pretty much doing what he's done for the entire book, is having a conversation with himself.
And saying Ruby's half because she's
that's
in
what
his
he's
head.
doing anyway.
Yeah, it's already... Does this reinforce the delusion? Or does it help?
I think it kind of just reinforces it. Most of what he's done so far has just been trying to reinforce this delusion. Mm-hmm. But he goes through this cycle of he gets sad, Ruby comes back, sad again, has some time to heal, gets sad, Ruby comes back. It just keeps repeating like that for a while.
Yeah.
He finally hits a breaking point where he's just on a beach, like begging Ruby's ghosts to leave him alone and go away. And it does. It just leaves. Wow. And he finally starts the healing process, allegedly.
I wonder how you would treat somebody like that.
I have no idea.
Like, that just sounds so intensely delusional. I don't know how he would function as a person.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you have to turn it off and turn it back on again.
Like, that's just really, really intense psychosis.
There's a whole epilogue 20 years later in 95. Mm-hmm. He's got his wife and kids. He
marries a human being and has kids?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And she knows about his dolphin shit.
Oh, no. Wow.
Now, at some point, she divorces him. I found that out.
Unsurprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently the dolphin thing wasn't a deal breaker.
Then I wonder what was.
I can't imagine. I don't know what could possibly happen. You know what? He probably went further into his delusion and he divorced her. Is what I'm betting.
Could be, yeah.
But yeah, he's got a wife and kids. He shouts on an empty beach that he loved Ruby, and he's going to convince the world dolphins can talk with his new book that he's writing.
Huh.
I think it's this book.
Yeah.
But this takes place in 95, and it's got a copyright from 74, so I don't know what... This might have been an add-on later in 95 when he re-copyrighted it, but I don't know if that's how that works.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Right. And it doesn't sound like we have a reliable narrator,
no.
Considering all of the things he's told us.
I certainly don't believe anything
he
says.
Who knows? Like, unless you manage to track down the other copyrights and compare them, and why would you try to kill yourself that way?
No.
He probably just had his original little bit, and then he added to it later, and then added to it again later. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, probably. But yeah, that's where it ends. And what a clusterfuck of bullshit this is. This entire book.
Like, if at the time you're hiding it from other people, and then you feel this intense impulse to tell somebody, and then you feel the intense impulse to write about it, but you have to couch it in this, this is like fictional. I didn't really do this. Yeah. Then goes on to explain exactly how he did this.
Like, on some level, you gotta know you're full of shit.
You gotta know this is wrong.
Yeah.
And is unacceptable to society, to other humans.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which he totally understands that other people will not accept this.
Right, but it's like...
But he's looking for people that are.
Yeah. Good God. I think it's very funny that he shares a story of other people with sexual delusion weirdness, and then it's like, look at them, gross. Yeah. I might fuck dolphins, but look at these freaks. Yeah, this is up there with Wings of a Butterfly. Yeah. This is really disgusting. I think this might be worse because it's a real person describing things he actually did. Real. At least Wings of a Butterfly was fiction. It was in the guy's head.
Yeah.
So
we found something worse than Wings of a Butterfly.
Oh dear God.
I got one last thing.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's the cherry on top.
No.
I'm afraid to say.
I'm hiding.
I really thought about not doing this one, but while I was researching it, I found a documentary on YouTube called Dolphin Lover, where he gives his first-hand account of pretty much just this book, a much shortened version. But
right.
I think it's like, I can't remember if it was like 12 minutes or like 20 minutes. There was a single line in that documentary that convinced me to do this book out of spite.
Oh.
So in this documentary, he brings up a lot of stuff. It was also in his book where he talks about and is trying to assault his family dog because she's in heat. So the dog is like just acting kind of horny because it's a dog in heat. Right. So he thinks it wants to fuck him. And he's like 12 at that point. He also brought up an incident that he was molested by his therapist when he was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, that his mother was distant from him. And that's why animals felt like a safe repository for his sexuality. Not gonna fucking touch that one. He's blaming his mom for why he fucks animals.
But it sounds like he had this as a problem as a child then.
Yeah.
Like this was a lifelong issue. Oh my God.
Then he says this, quote, 150 years ago, black people were considered a degenerate species of human being.
Fuck you. Fuck you. No, fuck you.
And at that time, miscegenation was a crime, as today interspecies sex is a crime.
Fuck you.
And I'm hoping in a more enlightened future,
oh God, fuck
zoophilia
you. Fuck this
will be no more regarded as controversial or harmful than interracial sex is today.
Fuck you. Fuck him. Fuck this the horse he rode in on.
Scum
this goddamn
is
piece
comparing
of shit.
Him fucking an animal to the plight of people in mixed race relationships throughout history.
He was comparing a white person having sex with a black person
to him fucking a dolphin.
This goddamn piece of shit.
This is a mentally ill man that takes it out on animals, then self-soothes by anthropomorphizing the animal and convincing himself that it was consensual.
And then goes to extreme lengths to justify it and seeks validation from other people.
Yep.
And then spreads this shit on YouTube and this book and all these places.
And is actively advocating for it.
Yeah.
Still talking about it on YouTube.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah, this guy doesn't get a grade. He doesn't deserve a grade.
Jail.
He deserves a fucking rubber room and a restraining order from every animal that exists.
Yeah, no. Because, see, I was feeling kind of bad toward the end. Like, we're just harping on this mentally ill guy who's a piece of shit. But, you know, if he's not hurting anyone now, whatever. And then he's literally comparing black people to animals and saying someday we'll be enlightened.
He's doing the same fucking thing they were doing in the 50s or 1800s or whatever that was, 1950s.
Oh my God, this piece of shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I saw that.
This may be the worst author we've dealt with. Then.
I think so. It very well might be.
I think he's the worst.
You know what? The Wrath of the Wendigo guy might be a fucking Nazi, but
this guy. Wow.
Oh, Christ.
Okay. Yeah, that was.
So yeah, that was the line that sold it. I was grossed out, and I was just like, this is just nasty. This really isn't worth going into. But I heard that line, and I was like,
fuck him.
Yeah, I have to power through this and just fuck this guy.
This guy is a piece of shit. Yeah. Don't read this. Don't go watch him on YouTube.
No,
don't give him any views.
Don't go through the layers of bullshit I had to find this fucking book.
Well, no thank you. I do not appreciate this episode. I do not appreciate you. I do not like you, Sam. I do not like meat, eggs, and ham.
We've reverted back to Dr. Seuss rhymes. This is how bad this has hurt us. Oh,
if you want to tell us how bad this was,
we'll just agree with you. I'm not fighting anybody in the comments on this one. Whatever your opinion is, unless you're also agreeing that you like to fuck dolphins or something.
In which case, we're just going to report you.
Yeah. Oh. Fuck.
Yeah. Email us at BiblioWrecks@gmail.com and follow us on Bliss Guy and go. This dude can just go to hell.
I'm dead. I've ascended to the astral plane and I'm with the dolphins now.
You can be a Bam Bam ghost. On the next episode, you could just come in and go, ooh. Well, I guess we'll catch you guys next time, and hopefully it will be an actual fun one.
And my advice this episode: just don't touch animals for a day. They might not want it. Just leave them alone today.
Yeah, just walk away. Say, ooh, cute doggy, and just walk away.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Bye.